Today I would like to share with you the seventh ray revealer of the new age. That's the book which kind of brought me so much hope, despite what we see in the world currently, what is happening. It brought the hope and the perspective of things are changing, that we're currently changing from one ray type of energy into another, and it brought really the perspective on why is so much happening today, and which sometimes feels like a lot of pain in the heart to see what is happening, but it has to do that there is some destruction of old forms so that new forms can be built and a new type of energy can anchor into the earth. And that's what we're gonna read, just a little bit of it. And it has to do with the sixth ray, which is present. We will anchor the seventh ray in that next time period. And for that, I would like to read the general introduction. We are told that 7 great rays exist in the cosmos. In our solar system, only one of these 7 great rays is in operation. The 7 sub-dimensions constitute the 7 rays, which, wielded by our solar logos, form the basis of endless variation in his system of worlds. These 7 rays may be described as the 7 channels through which all being in his solar system flow, the 7 predominant characteristics or modification of life, for it is not to humanity only that these rays apply, but to the 7 kingdoms as well. In fact, there is nothing in the whole solar system, at whatever stage of evolution it may stand, which does not belong and has not always belonged to one or another of the 7 rays. So, to understand a bit more of the current world situation, we have to zoom out from our own life, from just planet Earth, but actually see how it works in the cosmos. That are those 7 types of rays, 7 energies that are influencing and coming on Earth and influencing people and in a way to act. So the 7 rays are the sum total of the divine consciousness of the universal mind. They might be regarded as 7 intelligent entities through whom the plan is working out. They embody divine purpose, express the qualities required for the materialization of that purpose, and they create the form and are the forms through which the divine idea can be carried forward to completion. So that means there is the divine plan, and depending on those type of energy, we are moving towards that divine plan. They may be regarded as constituting the brain of the divine heavenly man. They correspond to the ventricles of the brain, to the 7 centers within the brain, to the 7 centers of force and the 7 major glands which determine the quality of the physical body. Because similar to that, we are having our own energy centers in our body, and the force and the energy is moving through that. That's when we take a proper perspective of who we are, not just as a physical body, but we actually have those energy centers, and we live in a universe that is based on energy. It's basically formless. But however, we see the form and believe we are that form, which we're not. So it's really great to get an understanding of what is behind the physical form we see. How is it influencing our life? So they are the conscious executors of divine purpose. They are the seven breaths animating all forms which have been created by them to carry out the plan. So the plan of God. The seven rays to deity, if we remember that man himself, being made in the image of God, is a sevenfold being, capable of seven states of consciousness, expressive of the seven principles of the basic qualities which enable him to be aware of the seven planes upon which he is consciously or unconsciously functioning. He is septent at all times, but his objective is to be consciously aware of all the states of being, to express consciously all the qualities, and to function freely on all the planes. The seven ray beings, unlike man, are fully conscious and entirely aware of the purpose and the plan. They are ever in deep meditation and have reached the point where, through their advanced stage of development, they are impelled toward fulfillment. They are fully self-conscious and group-conscious. They are the sum total of the universal mind. They are awake and active. Their goal and their purpose is such that it is idle for us to speculate about, for the highest point of achievement for man is the lowest point for them. The seven ray breaths and heavenly men have the task of wrestling with matter in order to subject into the divine purpose and the goal as far as one can sense it. It is the subject of the material forms to play of the life aspect, thus producing those qualities which will carry the will of God for completion. They are therefore the sum total of all the souls within the solar system, and their activity produces all forms according to the nature of the form, and so will be the grade of consciousness. Through the seven rays, the life of spirit aspect flows, cycling through every kingdom in nature and producing thus all states of consciousness in all fields of awareness. The human soul is a synthesis of material energy, qualified by intelligent consciousness, plus the spiritual energy, which is in turn qualified by one of the seven ray types. Thus, the human being emerges as a son of God, incarnate in form, which one hand, as the old commentary says, holds firmly to the rock of matter, with the other hand plunged into the sea of love. So that's the image of, for me it's an image of being a tree. It's rooted downward to Mother Earth, but actually also upward to heaven, and so to be really stable and function well in this life, we need to be so firmly rooted upward and downward, to be an integration of spirit and matter within form, and living in both worlds simultaneously, being rational and intuitive, so we can be a better embodiment of being that love that comes from God, from the invisible world, and bring it down and earth it into the physical form world. So when the right hand of the man grasps the flower of life and plucks it for himself, the left hand remains empty. When the right hand of the man grasps the golden lotus of the soul, the left descends seeking the flower of life, thus seeks it for selfish ends. When the right hand holds the golden lotus firm and the left hand grasps the flower of life, man finds himself to the seven-leafed plant which flowers on earth and flowers before the throne of God. The purpose of deity as it known to the Creator is totally unknown to all save the higher initiate, but the purpose of each ray life may be sensed and defined, subject of course of the limitation of the human mind and to the inadequacy of words. The planted activity of every ray qualifies every form found within its body of manifestation. And it also gives you an understanding of some people. They may be a different ray type of you, which can give you more compassion. They may be more in a mental ray type. Some other are more in a creative ray type. And that's the difference of seeing different ray energies, different type of purpose in humans. And maybe it's good at this point to explain what are each of the seven rays. Alright, they are called by many names in different lands, but our purpose is the following names will be used. So, first energy of will, purpose and power, called in Christian lands the energy of will of God. Second ray, the energy of love, wisdom, called frequently the love of God. Third, the energy of active intelligence, called the mind of God. Fourth ray, the energy of harmony through conflict, affecting greatly the human family. Fifth, the energy of concrete knowledge or science, so potent at this time. Sixth, the energy of devotion or idealism, producing the current ideologies. 7, the energy of ceremonial order, producing the new forms of civilization. That's where we move into it. These energies are ceasingly playing out on humanity, producing changes, expressing themselves through successive civilization and cultures, fashioning the many races and nations. So, and now just some words about the seventh ray. The seventh ray, which is coming now. This is the energy of ceremonial order. It is an expression of the will which drives through our outer manifestation. It is that which embodies both the periphery and the point of the center. It is the will of ritualistic synthesis, if I might so word it. It is necessarily which the prime conditioning factor of divine nature, the necessity to express itself, the necessity to manifest in an orderly rhythmic manner, the necessity to embrace that which is above and that which is below through the medium of its activity to produce beauty, order, perfect wholes, and right relationships. It is the driving energy which, being animated as it appears and takes form and life, it is the will towards expression. Today, as regards humanity, its highest expression is organization. The Lord of ceremonial order or magic is now coming into power and is slowly but surely making his presence felt. His influence is most potent upon the physical plane, for there is a close numerical interrelation between the Lord of the seventh ray and the seventh plane. The physical, just as the seven root rays, will see complete conformity to a perfect expression of law and order. This ray of order is, and its incoming is particularly responsible for the present tendency in world affairs towards governmental dictatorship and the imposed control of a central governing body. When the seven light of the rays is blended with that of the seven ray, then light supernal can be known. That's, I think, enough for today to give you an understanding that we are actually have to zoom out to understand the current situation a bit and to see that we are changing from destructing old forms that have been built to coming into a new type, and where different types of energies are coming into planet Earth affecting people, and that the seven tie ray is all about order. It's also, when we continue our study, to bring in spirit and matter together, and it's all quite driven by a scientific approach to have, as it said, one hand rooted to heaven and one down to Mother Earth, to be really a type of being who can function in two worlds, spirit and matter. And we will continue our studies, and I wish you so much love, so much understanding in a whole picture, for you to have more compassion and more hope what is currently happening in today's world. With that, I wish you well. Take care.